It claims we're live. Let me double check. I have so many stinking tabs open right now, folks. Be patient with me. Okay. Let me go back
Go see Daddy. Go.
and refresh. Okay, YouTube claims we are live. Let's see if Rumble is doing the same.
Get in your bed. Go. Get in your bed. Go. Go.
Rumble is a little bit behind. Still hasn't registered that we're live. Let's try again. There we are, recording in progress. Woohoo! We did it. It
Oh, and we
works.
got 4 corners in the house. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Hello.
Yeah, good
It is
evening,
good to see you.
everybody. Today is Tuesday, January the 13th at a little bit after 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining Rex Sisters. We appreciate it, your support. Please don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe. Also,
Oh, that fun stuff.
check out the Discord if you don't belong already. We have conversations that go on that cannot be said on YouTube, and
Yeah.
Rumble's a little bit better, but
We still got to tread on a
yeah,
degree of
right.
thicker ice.
You'll get a lot of additional content on the Discord, as well as you get to meet other people. And
It's
can
fun.
become friends with them. There are memes, there's music, there's politics, all types of things go on up in the
Us just being
Discord.
silly.
Yeah, so feel free to join. Hey, Blue.
Hello, Blue Rose. I saw that as I was looking over.
Yep. So with that,
Got a lot
what
going
a
on.
day! What a day! I am ready to pass the hell out. You were on the phone for the majority of the time.
Uh-huh.
We couldn't get files shared for whatever strange reason, but it's been a very weird day, and
It's been a long day. Not just
yes,
weird, it's been long.
well, it's been long and weird. And I mean, for me, it started with the photos that I started getting, and just
Yeah.
strange things started to happen. And then, I mean, all the time with the files, that was really bizarre. The whole thing.
Yeah. It would
And
not let her send me an updated slideshow by email, anything. It's just like, nope, you're not allowed
nope.
to.
No emails, no copy, no links, no Discord, anything. It was just, oh, you're not going to get this. And
We found a
then,
way around it, but it was still
right.
a headache.
And then, if you ever hear me say I'm going to do it during the week, just somebody please come frickin' slap me. Because I decided I was going to make lasagna for everybody.
Oh, I did the same thing today.
And for the first thing that happened was, so the baby slept from 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock, which he was good. He was good as freaking gold. He didn't scream, cry, carry on. He was so good for me while I was in the kitchen the whole time. So I'm browning the onions and the ground meat, and I went to pick it up and put it on the back burner for a minute. It was cooking up too fast, and I was going to add the spinach to it. The next thing you know, something hit the burner, and I'm telling you, there was a fireball. It almost caught my shirt on fire. And I guess it was either the grease or grease and meat that hit that
Heat.
splattered out of the pan. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, it scared the living daylights out of me. The fire did.
Well, at least you remembered to put hamburger in your lasagna. I forgot to add it to ours.
You had vegetable lasagna.
What do you think?
Well, Then,
Vegetable and lots of cheese.
well, then I
Cover them
almost
up.
forgot the
Yeah, I know.
cheese.
I had to uncover them to take a picture.
But
Sorry.
I ended up, there was so much between the meat and the cheese that I knew that it was not going to fit in the 10 by 13 pan. And
Mm-hmm.
so I get this brilliant idea that I'm going to use the roaster where, I cook roast and potatoes and carrots and that. And I'm going to assemble this. It was so heavy that I barely made it to the refrigerator to put it in the refrigerator. And I had to call EJ because they ended up working late today to come down and put it in the oven for me because Eric wasn't home yet. That's how heavy it was. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it from the refrigerator back to the stove. So I then go in to check on it. I take the foil off of it because I didn't put the roasting lid on it, and it
We
looked
used
like,
cookie sheets.
yeah, it looked like soup. And I was like, oh my, I'm like, what the hell did I do here? And then it
Like
dawned on
me.
me, do you want to know how many
Shh.
dishes and
That's
pans
just
and
a big minute.
pots that I have? Why didn't I just
You hear
make
that?
two separate
What is it?
lasagna pan
Seeds?
dishes?
We
Why
did
did I
too.
use the roasting pan?
We did too. We used the insert for our electric roaster, and then one of the blue Pyrex cake pan for the half one. We
Yes.
have one that's 3 layers
Yeah.
deep and one that's 2 layers deep.
Well, this turned out to be probably 6 inches in
That's about how
total
thick
depth.
the first one is for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it. So then I left it cook an additional 15 minutes to kind of dry up all that sauce that was in there. And that was the other thing is while I was making it, I went, oh my God, I don't think I have any spaghetti sauce. And all I had was that vodka sauce, which I had really never used. But it took, I used 3 jars of that, a pound of ground meat, 32 ounces of lasagna, I mean, of cheese, and then the noodles. And I'm telling you what, it looked nothing like the shit that we see on YouTube. It
Yeah.
was not an all recipes kind of thing. And
It
I
doesn't have
just
to look good, it just has to taste good.
and I got the high rate. I got 5 stars. They want me to. They enjoyed it. They loved it. I haven't. It's sitting here in a pasta bowl. I haven't yet tasted it.
Ours is still
So
in the oven because
okay,
we got that done about quarter after the hour, so almost an hour ago. Oh, it should
right?
be done soon. Oh shit. Uh,
Yeah,
I hope the noodles cooked right. It did not. Ours, yeah. We didn't boil the noodles first. We just added a little extra water to the sauce.
right,
You know how you do the cheap way.
right.
But
Well, I
yeah,
sent I sent you 2 pictures
I
of
sent. Oh, I've got to send you the one my son just took. But my oven. Oh my god, they got to clean that oven. It is so awful. Oh,
okay.
I,
So
I
I
won't
sent
show
you
my
two.
oven publicly.
Yeah, I sent
Oh,
you 2 pictures of what it looked like before and after.
I sent you the after pictures just now,
Okay.
but I can't. I won't show it because I'm embarrassed that the oven wasn't cleaner. It's
Okay.
still, yeah. It needs a good cleaning.
All right. So
It's
go
due.
ahead and show them what my first what the this was called either roaster lasagna or I called it soup lasagna. But
One second. Well,
yeah,
I forgot to grab the pictures.
okay.
Give me 1 minute, and I will gladly share it.
But like I said, it was not a if I was videotaping it, it was not a like we showed that Nicole from All Recipes or anybody that I have seen do any cooking segment. I'm telling you what, I would have a cooking segment called Fuck Up Recipes or something like that.
Oh yeah, this is going to be the half-assed recipes or
Mm-hmm.
half-baked,
Right.
half-assed,
Mm-hmm.
half-baked. something like that. Let me grab the picture really quick. Where is it? Right here.
So
So that's the before.
that's the before, and I'm telling you, that was so freaking heavy
Mm-hmm.
that I barely got it into the refrigerator from the
Well,
counter.
the after is even better.
Mm-hmm. And
It looks good.
that's just a little bit that I couldn't eat a big piece or whatever, and it ended up falling apart. But there was a bottom layer of meat and two layers of cheese, and there's spinach in it, onions are in it, and all types of spices, and with the
I
vodka
think my
sauce.
daughter accidentally over doctored because we mixed canned spaghetti with jarred spaghetti, and then
Mm-hmm.
she dumped like I'd say a quarter cup of Italian seasoning into the two full jars, and then I think there was like four cans.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about to find out.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, Vanilla, good to see you.
Uh, and hello, Vanilla.
So we're gonna try to get that done because I haven't had anything to eat all day.
Yeah, I've gotten
Ugh.
to eat, but man, that's oh the work that we put into that. We mixed the cottage, ricotta, and mozzarella, and then
Mm-hmm.
threw more mozzarella on top when we were done.
Yep.
Like this thing is mostly cheese, a bit of sauce, and some noodles.
Okay.
Ours is mostly cheese. Yeah.
Well, that's just considered vegetable, I guess. I
Uh,
mean, I would I
Dairy, veggie, and a
yeah,
bit of grain.
I took frozen spinach and this time I just took it chopped and I just threw it in with the meat and cut it up. But normally I just take it and squeeze all the water out of it, take a
Uh
pair
huh.
of scissors to it, and cut it small enough that people think, oh, there's parsley in there or something. And, they don't realize that there's spinach in there.
Uh
And
huh.
anything that I could do to sneak some vegetables in, it'd make it work.
Oh yeah. And like I said, we totally forgot to brown the hamburger before mixing the rest of it. And screw boiling the noodles. You could just add more water, whatever.
Yeah.
You
Well,
could add water.
like I said, I got halfway up there and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm supposed to put mozzarella cheese in here." And look, oh, I forgot the Parmesan cheese. Oh
I
well,
forgot Parmesan. I usually do Parmesan, Romano, and Asiago mix
right.
on top of the ricotta and cottage and mozzarella, whatever you want to call it. And so yeah, I ours is a half-assed one. This is not my best creation. If it was my best, I'd have Italian sausage ground up and cut up in it with the hamburger too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I could go all out if I was able to stand longer.
I hear you. It took I was soaking wet by the time I was done.
I
It,
am
it
having
was
spasms.
it, and thank God the baby was good. And by the
Oh, he was
way,
an angel, chit chatting his little head away.
yeah, and by the way, he stood all by himself, not
I was
holding
on the
on to
phone. If you
anything.
noticed, it
Yep,
was epic. You couldn't get the camera up in time though.
yep,
That's what sucked.
yeah. It wasn't that long, maybe, 10 seconds or so, 15
He
seconds,
will be
but
running in no time. Give it about
uh-huh,
3 more weeks, and you will good luck catch him. Good
I
luck.
know. Yeah, we built a fire this morning and everybody was worried about him getting to the fireplace. So we had the pack and play in front of it. I had the playpen there. We had a stool in
Barricade
front of
it.
it. So he was, guarded.
Yep, barricade that sucker.
Uh-huh. But
Oh, yeah, but he's
other
gonna be running in no time, and you know
mm-hmm.
it. And then you're gonna be like, "Get back here! Get
Mm-hmm.
back here!" And he's gonna be like laughing as he absolutely outruns
Yeah.
you.
Well, now I'm fighting with him to get his diaper on. So
Oh, he doesn't want the diaper
nope,
anymore.
no, not at all. And I have to pin
Oh,
him
wait till he
down.
starts taking it off and going pee or poop somewhere in the house, and then
He
you find it
better
on
not.
accident.
Yeah, I never had that problem with my kids or with Jake. but
My son was too smart for his own good. He knew how to open doors. By the time he was 18 months old, he could get the child safety handles off of things.
wow.
So, yeah, I had my hands full with my son.
Yep. So
Oh,
other than that, I'm just happy we had a good day. That's all.
we survived it, right?
I guess if I fall asleep, people, I'm sorry in advance.
If
No,
I fall asleep, y'all are screwed.
yeah, you can have.
You're gonna be like, scroll up,
Yep,
scroll, next,
yep.
and I'm gonna be like snoring.
All right.
Uh,
Anything else
oh
going
yeah, we do
on?
have one more quick thing I wanted to share. This was posted on the Discord server, so I had to share it because it's so funny. I like this meme. When Ice says stop, you need to collaborate and listen. And then it says word to your mother at the bottom. And Blue Rose is the one who sent it to the server, so we'll give credit to her for the find.
Oh, thanks, Blue. That's funny.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That one absolutely had me laughing when I saw it. So I'm like, yeah, we're gonna share this.
Oh, that's a good one.
Absolutely gonna share it.
That's epic.
Oh, so yeah, that was how that goes. So Blue Rose is laughing over there. So yeah, that's fundamentally pretty much what we got for the startup.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we can jump right in to
Okay, so we're gonna pick up where we left off yesterday.
yep.
And this morning, I spent probably close to an hour. Started going through the transcript. And then I realized and I was highlighting the key parts for you guys.
Uh
And
huh.
then I realized it was 134 pages long and that it'd probably take me till next year. No, it wouldn't take me that long. But after reading what was in it, we determined that we want to listen to
YouTube
uh,
video still.
the yeah, what are they called? The people that.
Testimonies.
Thank you. We want to listen to the testimonies of the people that were invited to speak uh, regarding the illegal immigration. I think it's important for you to hear what was going on. And again, right now, while this may be on the boring side, it's important to understand some of the history of how we got where we are and where we're going and where
And
we're
who's
headed.
to blame and who should be on the
Uh huh.
stockades?
Yeah. Yeah. Biden and Obama definitely. Uh,
Obama was deporting many.
yeah, but he also let many in.
Yeah, he did. But they were the favorites for
Uh huh.
him. So of course, all the places that were trying to destroy us.
Mm hmm.
And I mean, Bush just had an issue with the Middle East. Clinton was like, yeah, Middle East is a problem. So, they just kind of that go my son, he just totally derailed my train of thought. But like, if you look at all the presidents, they mostly barred what they thought were the terrorist groups of the Middle East with not realizing how much Asia really doesn't like us too.
Right.
They forget about that. And Russia really don't like us that much.
Well,
So
they let a
there's that.
they let a lot of people in,
Yeah, just on the brown cat.
and so many people that hate America that we don't know what faction is going to pop up and cause havoc. Right now it's talking about, right, the hot topic is the Muslim community and the Somalian community that's been
And
in.
they are a threat, but not
Yeah,
nearly as much as China, because China has hated us longer than they have.
right. And China probably got way more money, but
But China sucks at their military stuff. Like, really, and go watch videos of them crashing their own boats.
geez.
Yeah,
See, sometimes I think that is nothing but a ploy.
I don't
that
think so. I think China sucks
that
because
they
they've been
want.
trying to suppress the videos.
Yeah, I don't
So for
know.
me, it's yeah.
I don't know. All right, so why don't we get started then and see where it goes?
Pick up where we left off on the YouTube video of the
Cor-
congressional hearing.
yes, ma'am.
Alrighty, let me hit play.
Well,
Okay, volume's up. What just happened?
just a second.
That was weird.
To the part where I recognize you. I now recognize the ranking member, the gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Ivy, for his opening statement.
I was going to say that might be sufficient, actually.
I figured there was something else in there I probably should read, but you're exactly right. That was easy enough.
Well, I thank the
Ivy.
chairman for that. It's May. This is the month when we typically celebrate and honor the culture, heritage, achievements, and contributions of Asian Americans, Native Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. And I want to make sure that we honor those contributions and steer away from any kind of concerns or rhetoric with respect to. I want to make sure that our friends from the Asian communities are not mischaracterized or misunderstood by who they are and what they're doing. And there's a lot of rhetoric, I got to say, that I hear recently. I've got, for example, despite the invasion rhetoric some Republican colleagues are spreading, it's only a tiny fraction of border crossers who are coming from China. In the first 4 months of this fiscal year, less than 2%, 2.5% of border crossers were Chinese nationals. In fact, Chinese nationals are neither one of the fastest growing nationalities apprehended along the southwest border, nor one of the top 10 nationalities apprehended at the U.S. border. And I've seen and heard rhetoric. People are Chinese. We've got Chinese immigrants coming across the border to, quote, build an army.
Oops, shit. Sorry. Oh my god, I did not just do that. Where were we? Oh my god, I am so sorry, folks. There we are. I wanted to pause here because it very well could be to build an army. He should not be so dismissive to it.
Well, I don't like the beginning of his statement. These politicians come into these hearings and use the platform to talk about shit that they're not even supposed to be talking about.
Uh
The
huh.
subject
Has nothing to
matter
do with the
it
topic.
Yeah, the subject matter is China a threat? What does that have to do with, oh, it's the month of May and, we got to honor, Hawaiians and Native Americans and this group and that group? Why? That's not the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
his,
I don't like the way that they absolutely hijack the system for that
right.
purpose.
And not only that, then goes on to say they're not even in the top 10 when the CBP stats show, and
They
we
most
showed it on
certainly
this,
are.
yeah, that they're in the top 10. They're number 10.
Mm-hmm.
So right off the gate, he's lying. And there's no,
Yes.
and they're not, and he's not showing, nobody is showing proof of what they have to say.
Yeah. We're just supposed to take their word for it.
Exactly.
I don't take their word for it. They're politicians. I wouldn't take their word for it any more than I would take my own.
And, and,
Present proof.
and the other thing is, how do you sit side by side knowing full well that you're lying, that
Mm-hmm.
somebody is lying?
And this is why I don't trust politicians. They lie. And if they do use a reference board, it's outdated or it's skewed facts.
Right,
It's not actually honest.
right.
And this is again, how is he going to sit there and say that this is not the case? that they are starting an army here under the guise of immigration, even ones that come through legally. Until we develop telepathy and we can read each other's thoughts, we don't know what their true intentions are. You
Correct.
can't tell what my intentions are unless I prove it, right?
Right.
Same thing. They look at the ones that did 9/11. How long were they here in the United States? Some of them legally here,
Right.
and they plotted that out for years. I don't want to hear that this is the way he is so dismissive of it is what really bugs me,
Mm-hmm.
because it is a threat. It is a concern. And yeah, every communist country on the planet is trying to convert everyone else to communism.
Right.
Just like all the Muslims are, well, it's the Muslim decree to go and convert everyone else or eliminate them.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. But I'm going to go ahead and let him continue making himself look like a jackass.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great thing to do.
Made without any evidence that, quote, it's virtually certain, close quote, that some Chinese border crossers are spies. One Republican's comments calling Chinese immigration an invasion. And I think that's the kind of rhetoric we want to steer away from. I do think it's important to say this. They've got people crossing the border for a variety of reasons. I think part of it's economic, as the chairman referenced. Part of it, and we've had some hearings with respect to the Uyghurs. It's a bit ironic that this subcommittee's held hearings about that, and it goes to the repression of the Uyghurs and, in some instances, forced labor or slave labor. And I want to make sure that we keep those sorts of pressures in mind, in addition to the national and international migration patterns that are at reference here. And I think we should keep in mind some of the comments that the Border Patrol chiefs have made. We had recent conversations with them. Here's what they did say about Chinese border crossers. One statement, that specific demographic doesn't cause me concern, close quote. Another one, we treat everybody the same. It doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter what your nationality is, what your religious beliefs are. We're going to treat everybody exactly the same.
Yeah,
they run through the
you
same
let them all
screening, the same
go.
processing, the same
Yeah.
background checks.
You let them all
Everything we
They
have
did.
access to, we're
Yeah, they literally, why vet anyone?
Right. They let them all go.
They
And we have,
didn't vet. They don't pay attention. They are just,
and we have no idea where anybody is at.
mm-hmm. They come in, they can do a name change, they can get false identities.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot. I don't trust it.
Nope.
And my dinner just got handed to me. So I apologize that I'm freezing up. I'm trying to balance straight out of the oven lasagna without burning myself. But let me hit play. We'll get a little bit further into the bullshit and go from there.
going to check on each and every person. There's another exchange question. Do you know what reasons Chinese nationals are given in their interviews for coming? Answer, the typical reason is the same as for most migrants, for work or a better life. So let's keep all that stuff in mind as we sort of work our way through this. And I think a big piece of where we ought to be going, legislation. I was not a full fan of the Senate bill that was proposed a few months ago by Senator Langford and others, but I thought it was a big step in the right direction. I was very disappointed that former President Trump essentially killed the bill, an opportunity to work on the legislation by statements he made publicly and the adoption of those positions by the Speaker here and most of our House Republicans in general. And I would say this, I mean, I know I've had colleagues on this committee and then on the Judiciary Committee raise concerns about the legislation that was proposed from the Senate, but I would just remind my colleagues that we have this amendment process here. And if we bring up legislation in the committee, they can offer amendments to address it. And guess what? They're the majority on not only both committees, but on the overall floor as well. So they
Yes,
could
and
adopt
there we
amendments if
go.
they wanted
And
to.
there was setting, and this is my bitch. They have the
Mm-hmm.
House, they have the Senate, and not jack shit is getting done.
It's always that way.
This all could be worked out. Or this whole immigration thing, it could all be done, taken care of. All of our legislation, Trump's 100 and what, 80 some freaking executive orders, all could be codified. No, they're sitting on it. Mike Johnson, he sucks. That's all I have to say. He is
But
not
again,
a leader. He can't keep the caucus together to save his life. I don't know what the hell Nancy Pelosi had. No matter what you think of her, everybody was in lockstep.
yep.
Nobody put their baby toe over the line. Everybody, they held the line. But the
Mm-hmm.
Republicans, they can't get their shit together at all.
Well, that's expected. I mean, they're Republicans. They've been this way for a very long time. I mean, longer than I've been alive. They've been like this. I
I'm
think
tired of
Reagan
it.
was the last time that the Republicans did anything relatively decent, and they still fucked up bad.
I mean, they're already planning on winning. The Dems are already planning on winning the midterms. And when they
Yeah,
do
no.
that, they're going to impeach Trump again and impeach
And
probably,
they'll keep impeaching, and nothing's going to happen because the Senate's going to tell them to screw off.
yeah, well, we'll see what happens. But
Um,
this
Discord
is,
says you're typing to me.
huh?
Discord says you're typing to me
No,
for like 5 minutes now.
no. Hold on, let me check my phone.
It says you're typing to me. It is very
Hold on.
bizarre.
Oh, it's recording what everything that we're saying. That's weird.
Okay, that makes that was a
You
little
know what?
alarming. I just
This whole day this is getting weirder and weirder.
mm-hmm,
And the
very.
mic isn't even on. That's oh my god, what is going on?
I have no clue. I just happened to see my Discord notification flash, and I'm looking, and it shows yeah, that you're typing, and you didn't stop, and then you're still typing
Okay.
and typing and type. I had to say something. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. It's just it was
No.
very weird that you're typing to me while we're talking.
No, and I don't even my phone is sitting on the stand on a stand. Oh my gosh. I can't take today. You know what? Ooh, after after what I find, I'm like just
Yeah,
anyway, we'll get to it. All right, go
but
ahead.
yeah, sorry. I just wanted to make sure you were
Yeah.
okay and something. All right, let's hit play.
But instead of moving forward and working on this type of legislation, whether they think it needs to be amended or not, they're not bringing it up, and we're focusing on other things instead. I was heartened to see that Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy stated, I think yesterday, well, it may have been earlier today, that he wants to renew the push for the bipartisan legislation that was proposed in the Senate. And I think that's a great idea because it addresses some of the concerns that are underlying this particular hearing. The need for more border agents, the need to make the process work faster, the need to get more judges who can adjudicate these cases more quickly, because that'll help to address some of the problems that we're facing, I think, at the border and with the migration
It's not
patterns. And I
migration.
also think
It's
that the funding piece
immigration.
is important. I know
They have
there's
no intention
a
on
lot of
going
times I've
back.
heard comments that the resources don't matter, at least from my Republican colleagues. But when we get testimony from Border Patrol agents, even in this committee, they always say, yeah, we need more resources. We don't have enough people to cover the border. We don't have enough money to retain many of the people that we have. They leave to go do other things and get paid larger salaries for less rigorous work. We don't have as many judges as we need to handle all these cases. So I'm hoping we can address those things as well. So I want to thank the panel for being here today. I look forward to your testimony, and Not necessarily that I'm going to agree with everything or you're going to agree with everything I say or that you'll even agree with each other. That's not necessarily the point. But I do appreciate the fact that, and I thank the chairman for this, bringing in people who can shed light on what's going on down there. There's a lot of partisanism around this.
Because of people
And,
like
you know, that
you.
goes with the
Right.
territory. This is
Well,
not
they
only
gotta blame
Washington, D.C.,
others.
but Capitol Hill. But I think we need to hit a point, and we did this with the subcommittee hearings we had with respect to the Uyghurs, and I raised African countries that had forced labor going on there as well. We've shown we can do it, and I'm
Well, they're forced slavery, but America's so bad for it.
Right.
Condemn America, not the people who are still doing it.
Yep.
Makes no sense. It's just a little footnote in his speech.
Uh-huh.
Just a tiny little footnote in his speech about other countries that still do forced labor. Mm-hmm.
And what
But
we're
America
supposed
bad.
and what the United States is supposed to jump in and fix it?
Every time we fix something, it gets worse.
Exactly.
Every time America fixes something, it makes it worse. We need to fix ourselves first.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love the little footnotes that they just brush over.
Right.
hoping we can do that again here in this instance and ultimately find our way to legislation that can address the overall problems, not just with respect to Chinese migrants, but all of the issues at the border as well. And with that, I yield back.
We got cannabis.
Thank you,
back.
Ranking Member Ivy. Other members of the committee are reminded that opening
Cannabis.
statements may be submitted for the record. And I'm pleased that we have a distinguished panel of witnesses before us today to examine this topic. And I ask that our witnesses please rise and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will give before the Committee on Homeland Security of the United States House of Representatives will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Let the record reflect that the witnesses have answered in the affirmative. Thank you. You may be
Let's
seated.
see how many lies we find.
And I'd like to formally introduce you for the
Already
hearing.
I
Mr. Simon
my liar picked
Hankinson
up.
is a senior research fellow in the Heritage Foundation's Border
All of
Security
them?
and Immigration Center. He previously served for more than 20 years in the State Department as a Foreign Service officer. Mr. Craig Singleton is a senior fellow at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, where he also serves as senior director in the China program. Dr. Meredith Oyen is an associate professor of history at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And Mr. Todd Bensman is an author and journalist currently serving as senior national security fellow at the Center for Immigration Studies. I thank all the witnesses for being here today, and we'll now hear from the witnesses to summarize your statements for 5 minutes each, and I recognize Mr. Hankinson for that purpose for 5 minutes.
And that's all we're gonna listen to is their opening statements, and then
Okay.
if you want to watch the rest of the hearing, the link will be provided in the description, and it's also in the presentation that we've given.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, let's hit play.
Chairman Bishop, Ranking Member Ivy, members of the committee. I served as a Foreign Service officer in 7 countries. I've adjudicated thousands of visa applications to facilitate lawful visits and immigration while excluding aliens who are legally inadmissible. The visa process overseas stands in total contrast to what happens at the U.S. border today. Over the past 2 years, I visited the border in Arizona, California, New York, and Texas. I saw nationals of many countries apprehended by the Border Patrol. In San Diego last March, I watched Border Patrol dropping off dozens of aliens, including Chinese, at a bus stop. Such mass release of
Biden
people
told
who
them
enter the
to.
country illegally happens every day, multiple times, at multiple locations. At best, this is a mockery of U.S. immigration law and sovereignty, and at worst, it is a huge national security and community safety risk. In addition to many Chinese with connections to the Communist Party, People's Liberation Army, and other state entities, it is statistically probable that DHS is releasing people with criminal records. According to U.S. law, DHS should detain aliens caught entering illegally, but the Biden administration has replaced border control with mass processing and release, and they have abused immigration parole at an unprecedented scale. In January 2021, the Border Patrol encountered 17 Chinese between ports of entry. This year in January, it was 3,700. I won't repeat the rest of the numbers, but we're close to 50,000 already this fiscal year. Nearly all of them are being released into an asylum process that will take years to conclude, and then those eventually ordered removed are unlikely to be deported because the Chinese government does not cooperate in accepting their nationals. In fact, in fiscal year 2023, ICE removed a total of 288 Chinese, leaving up to 100,000 still in the U.S. despite final orders of removal. Most Chinese entering the U.S. illegally are seeking employment. They use asylum claims to enter, to remain, and to work. Illegal immigration ebbs and flows corresponding to a risk-reward calculation. And the reason that Chinese are coming in great numbers today is simply because they can. The worldwide awareness of our open border spread by social media shows them how. The Chinese have massive economic investments in Latin America. They have close ties with governments including Brazil, Cuba, and Venezuela. They don't need visas to fly to Ecuador, after which they can continue by land to the U.S. Tomorrow, May 17th, Air China begins direct flights from Beijing to Havana. Meanwhile, Chinese investments in the U.S., both legal and illegitimate, are growing, providing many new opportunities for work. More people are on the way. Now, overseas, an in-person interview by a consular officer is the first line of vetting for visa applicants. This is buttressed by staff who know local languages, customs, and news, and in larger embassies, we have other federal agencies who can assist with investigations. The second line of vetting is through automatic checks of U.S. government databases. Applicants are frequently refused visas due to adverse information that would not have been discovered had they simply showed up at the border with no identity documents. Meanwhile, at the border today, most so-called national security decisions of who gets into our country are no longer made by American officers. Under President Biden's policies, what was once a privilege has become a right. And despite what the administration wishes the public to believe, there is no real vetting of those released at the border, nor of those allowed in under parole programs, much less the gotaways who enter entirely without inspection. The official visa front door competes with a wide-open back door at the border, where there are no routine criminal background checks from the person's home country. Unless a foreign national has a record held by U.S. agencies, DHS is flying blind. Concerning China specifically, CBP agents have reportedly reduced the number of standard questions asked of inadmissible Chinese from 40 to 5, but however many the questions, the process relies on an alien telling the truth. Even if CBP requests additional information on a particular individual, China routinely ignores U.S. requests for verification of nationality, and they reportedly hide domestic records of criminal and corruption cases. DHS releases most aliens with a notice to appear in immigration court far in the future, and they're then free to go where they want, with no easy way for ICE to find them. There are more than 6 million aliens on ICE's non-detained docket, of whom only about 184,000 are tracked, and only 2% of those with GPS monitors. To close this dangerous loophole, the U.S. needs to re-implement agreements with Mexico and Central America so that inadmissible aliens are not released into the interior pending the decision in their asylum cases. Given the population, economy, and politics of China, we can never meet the demand for those seeking to enter illegally. And at some point, the U.S. will either have to remove those who are ineligible to enter or remain, or else abandon the rule of law. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair now recognizes Mr. Singleton for 5 minutes for his opening statement.
Chairman Bishop, Ranking Member Ivy, and distinguished members of this committee, thanks for the opportunity to testify about how the Chinese Communist Party stands to exploit America's border crisis to further its strategic interests and undermine U.S. national security. All told, the dramatic increase in Chinese nationals seeking to illegally enter the United States has reached unprecedented levels. Today's surge is not simply a matter of immigration, though. It's a multifaceted menace that mires our border management systems and magnifies major national security risks. The drivers of today's surge are complex. Economic instability and political repression within China have propelled many Chinese to seek better lives abroad.
I was waiting for him to say climate change, like Kamala kept screaming. I was just waiting for it. If one of them says they are moving here because of climate, I don't know how I will respond. Right. So, just want to add that in there because we all know how Kamala's like, oh, the reason they're coming here is because of climate changes.
Yep.
What climate change? We're all on the same planet.
Well, remember now they sent the balloons, and maybe the balloons told them that our weather our weather
They
is
needed the
better.
balloons when there's satellites all over the
Right.
frickin' high Earth orbit. Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
Yet this migration is also facilitated by sophisticated Chinese smuggling networks, readily accessible through Chinese social media platforms like WeChat and Douyin, China's version of TikTok. These and other platforms provide prospective migrants with detailed step-by-step guidance about how to enter our country illegally, as well as facilitate direct connections with human traffickers. Given that context, the security implications of today's border surge are profound and worthy of further inquiry. For starters, the influx provides cover for Chinese intelligence operatives or those acting on their behalf to potentially infiltrate our borders. These operatives benefit from newfound operational flexibility, insomuch as instability at the border allows them to evade traditional screening procedures at other American ports of entry. Furthermore, their diversification of tradecraft, using everything from false documentation to exploiting vulnerabilities in our border screening protocols, equips these individuals.
Okay, that was weird. Was that on purpose or did you get booted? D? Yep, we're having issues again. Absolutely having issues. Um, she's probably waiting for it to refresh. It's just one of those days because we're talking about stuff that people don't like us talking about. Are you
Yeah,
back?
they don't. Yep, they don't like what we're doing.
I was gonna be like, did you accidentally hang up or something?
Nope.
Hey JJ. Um,
Hi, JJ. Happy New Year.
oh yeah, yeah, I'm what a day. My brain is freezing. Left, right, and center. I apologize.
Just hit play.
Okay.
With a varied arsenal designed to overwhelm our defenses. Adding to these concerns are China's national security laws, including its 2017 National Intelligence Law and recently revised counter-espionage law, which require all Chinese citizens and organizations to support state intelligence activities. Coupled with China's well-documented history of conducting extraterritorial operations in the United States and elsewhere, these Chinese laws pose a significant threat, turning innocent individuals into tools of espionage under immense pressure from China's government. Amidst this orchestrated chaos, Chinese transnational criminal organizations are also ruthlessly exploiting our border vulnerabilities, fueling the fentanyl crisis that claims thousands of American lives each year, showcasing a sinister blend of state-sponsored subterfuge and underworld criminality. Beyond the clear security risks, China is also skillfully exploiting today's chaos to depict the US as a faltering democracy, incapable of securing its borders. This narrative, projected globally, not only diminishes our international standing, but also bolsters China's robust efforts to undermine Western democratic values. All the while, China's government remains intent on obscuring the reality that its own citizens are fleeing China in search of freedom and opportunity elsewhere. In response to today's threats, we must not only do more to secure our borders, but also strengthen our diplomatic ties and enhance our technological capabilities. These efforts should be complemented by targeted legislative actions that provide the necessary tools and resources to combat these threats effectively. A coordinated response must include everything from enhancing our border security infrastructure, improving interagency collaboration, and boosting our intelligence capabilities to preempt and dismantle the networks facilitating these illegal migration flows. Washington must also intensify its public diplomacy and counter-propaganda efforts to correct Beijing's misleading narratives. Such work is particularly important in light of a recent speech Chinese Communist Party Chairman Xi Jinping delivered to party elites, in which he remarked, quote, "The most important characteristic of the world is, in a word, chaos, and this trend appears likely to continue," end quote. In that same speech, Xi Jinping noted, quote, "The times and trends are on our side."
The only reason the times and trends are on their side is because for the last 50 years, the universities have been infiltrated by jackasses who think they know how to do socialism right.
Right.
That's why. but he's really underestimating how many of us actually went to college.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to point that out. And those of us who did go, we're not always brainwashed. We were not stupid. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm congested. But yeah, if we had headed this off and nipped the communism is good bullshit back 50 years ago, we wouldn't have this problem.
Right.
I just really want to stress that. The infiltration actually started long ago, and it planted all the seeds into the simple minded who fell for it. So I just gonna I'm adding context to what he's saying.
As we consider these and other measures, let us remember that the stakes are exceptionally high. The integrity of our borders, the safety of our citizens, including Asian Americans and Chinese Americans, and the stability of our global standing are all intertwined with how we handle this growing crisis. I look forward to working together and developing bipartisan solutions that not only address the current challenges we face, but also reinforce our national resilience against all forms of geopolitical manipulation and repression. On behalf of the Foundation for Defensive Democracies, I thank you again for inviting me to testify today.
Stop
Thank you,
1
Mr.
second,
Singleton.
Crazy
I
B.
now recognize Dr. Boyan
Yes,
for
ma'am.
Okay, so the doctor from Maryland that's coming up, we'll see if my HR radar is still working correctly. Notice
Alrighty.
notice the paper that she has in front of her compared to the other people who came prepared with
Uh huh.
stuff. If you
Yep.
just want to say stuff, they have information at their fingertips, they have stats, etc. And she got her notes on a little piece of paper. I venture to say that my girl is the liberal on the panel.
Oh, I believe it.
Uh huh.
I absolutely believe it.
Mm hmm.
Now, we'll know for sure
Uh
shortly.
huh. All right,
And
let's
this is
see.
just initial judgment.
Correct. I got to see if my radars still work. So let's hear it.
She has that facial expression
Uh
that I
huh.
see in so many liberals.
Uh huh. You could see her kind of response to what the two gentlemen had to say. She's a little bit rankled, and I also feel that she is now unprepared in.
And I think since kicking in that she's underprepared.
Correct. Yes, she's in a little bit of a panic mode.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty.
5 minutes for opening statement.
Thank you, Chairman Bishop, Ranking Member Ivy, and the members of the subcommittee for the invitation to share some historical context to the current increased levels of Chinese immigration. My name is Meredith Oyen. I'm an associate professor of history at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, as well as the director of the
That
Asian Studies
explains it.
program there. My research centers on the role that migrants play in the relationship between the United States and China, with particular focus on the period since the founding of the People's Republic in 1949. Recent Chinese history does provide some explanations for the demographics and increased numbers of Chinese migrants on the southern border. Motivations for Chinese migrants crossing the southern border include the slowing Chinese economy and tightening political control under President Xi Jinping. The pandemic and China's lengthy zero COVID policy had important effects on the Chinese national economy that led to slower growth and increased discontent. Migrants who have talked and been interviewed at the border have cited the difficulty finding jobs and the impact of the pandemic on small business. Migrants also cite the tightening political control by President Xi Jinping that has led to political repression, police visits after making statements critical of the CCP or Chinese government, and a lack of freedom as reasons for leaving China. Specifically, in the last decade, increasing persecution of Chinese Christians and Muslims, along with limitations on the exercise of their faith, has led some Chinese to leave the country. The crackdowns against protests in Hong Kong and the new national security law implemented in 2020 has also led to the flight of former Hong Kong residents. The end of the zero COVID policy in December of 2022 permitted more Chinese nationals to travel abroad than had been able to since the beginning of the pandemic. Modern information
Oh,
sharing through
I
social
gotta
media
pause
and
there.
online platforms.
Pandemic or not, if somebody wants to flee a country, they will find a way to
Mm
get the hell out.
hmm. And why are we using the pandemic as an excuse for even more people to come over? Well, isn't it we
Well, we didn't lock our people in their house at
I was just
gunpoint the
going to
way
say,
China did.
right, I was just going to say that exact same thing. Isn't it true that we come to find out that they actually locked people in their homes via, if they had to hammer the doors with nails and people could not leave their homes, they put locks on them. Uh,
Yeah, they locked their people in.
right. And people did die. But,
That's why, if they wanted out, they would find a way out. I mean, I don't know how many people have ever been trapped or held against their will. You know that you're not going to quit. You're going to keep trying to find a way out. COVID hit. People probably started knowing they had to flee in advance because they know what China was going to do. China, what it does with everything when people disagree,
right,
lock them down, people disappear, etc., etc. So, oh, COVID's a bad thing. They're going to flee as soon as they heard that COVID had gone global. They were probably looking for ways to get out of that country.
yeah,
I mean,
Vanilla wrote that some people were welded into their homes. I mean,
yes,
we heard all kind of horror stories about that.
yep. it's it's terrifying. And Biden was trying to push the same crap.
Right.
Canada was one step behind them. The
Mm-hmm.
UK and other European countries, Australia freaking set up camps.
Yes, they did.
Let's not forget.
Mm-hmm.
It's no, COVID did not have to do with it. It had a lot to do with oppressive governments.
Right.
So quit acting like China's not the bad ones. Their people are fleeing for a reason. And if America was really so bad, they sure as hell wouldn't come here.
Right.
So there's that narrative too. But yeah, she's full of shit. And I bet YouTube's going to get really mad at us for this.
Oh well.
Anyways, I just realized.
It is.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Platforms has provided information about crossing the US southern border. As the number of people who cross successfully into the United States increases and they share their experiences, more individuals looking for a viable path follow in their footsteps. Recent reports have highlighted the demographics of the Chinese migrants. I wanted to add that before 1965, migration to the United States was dominated by men traveling alone. This was a result of the Page Act of 1875, which curtailed the migration of women, and cultural traditions in China that made
The reason the men came first was to establish a place to live.
Correct.
And then their wives and children came. You
Right.
did not drag your family across the ocean to suffer while you've got a job and found a house.
Right.
You left your family with family in the home country. My grandfather, okay, my great grandmother passed away shortly before my grandfather turned 4. Um, they moved to the U.S. My grandfather did have to drag the kids. He did have to drag 2 kids with him, but he was also able to make enough money to get a servant and a maid to keep an eye on them while he was off doing what he was doing for work.
Mm-hmm.
He normally, and this was in 1929, I believe it was 1929, when they came here. You don't normally drag your family across the ocean to the other side of the globe without having a place to go to. If
Right.
there is no place to go to, the men always go first to get established, and then
Right.
they bring their wives and
And they
kids
need
over.
some type of job. I mean, where some they need to be able to eat and feed and clothe themselves and have a roof under their head and over their head, and to get books and get established. So it only makes sense that they come over first.
Yes. And so that is why immigration back then was trickled. It wasn't a flash flood coming through all borders, like all angles, north, south, east, and west.
Right.
So yeah, I've got news for her. She's leaving out a lot of historical context that makes a difference. So, but I had to pause that because she's full of shit.
International migration, a risk only undertaken by men. More recently, unauthorized Chinese migration through container shipping, such as the Golden Venture incident that made headlines in the 1990s, was also dominated by men traveling alone. Like their predecessors, these men were not necessarily single, but they were traveling solo, hoping to pave the way for families that
Oh,
followed.
now she gets to it.
Chinese immigrants, especially unauthorized immigrants, have long fallen under suspicion of having dangerous motives or being potential spies for a hostile foreign power. The Chinese became the first
All
and
of them
only
are. Anyone from any country who comes here alone should be under scrutiny. Why?
Well,
Why is she making it sound like it's a bad thing?
right. Everybody
Like,
needs, they need to be vetted.
and she's making it sound like it's a bad thing that we give them that second glance and we give them the side eye. You know,
And
these are military aged men, and most of them don't have wives and kids because China doesn't have enough female population for the men to get married and have kids. Because, oh, yeah, only males were wanted, and you're limited on how
right.
many daughters you can have.
Yeah, and they were
And
only
now you're
allowed to
limited
have
in
one.
general in how many kids.
Right, and they were only allowed to have one child. And it got so bad that
Hmm.
the country then opened it up that you could have more than one child because
They
they
still
did
tax you, though. No, they tax you
exact
out the nose to have a second child.
exactly. But they permitted it because the population they
Was
claimed was
totally
starting to
unbalanced.
dwindle. Right.
Yep. There are a lot of men from China who will never be married because there are not enough women in China to marry. It's kind of messed up. And I knew someone who lived there pre COVID. And when she got pregnant with her second daughter, there was a lot of concern, because there are still, and I will get in trouble for this, I know it, but as far as I've been told, there is still forced abortions if it's a second daughter.
Mm-hmm.
They can absolutely do a forced abortion on you, and it's not okay. You could pay the tax, but that's if you work something out with the Chinese government to allow you to have two daughters.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a little bit alarming, and she's not giving these reasons why we have to be suspicious. It's not like they're coming here to get married and take a wife back with them. These are military
Well,
aged men who could get jobs if they were, not speaking out against the government.
well, when the rule is you go you stop at the first country.
Yeah, like what the
Yeah,
third party nation
right,
that was safe. Yeah,
right.
Article 42.
Right, you're not supposed to get on a boat and travel across the ocean to get to America.
No, you get out of China, you go to Japan, you
Right?
go to Thailand. Does not really like China right now. You could go to Ukraine. You could go somewhere in Europe just until you're cleared. But
Yep.
Biden threw all that out the window and said, open borders. Just, download this app.
Everybody come on in.
Uh huh. Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was taking a drink. Trying to get this congestion to go away.
nation to be singled out in U.S. immigration law with the 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act. The anti-Chinese movement that precipitated the act cited Chinese migration as a unique threat to the United States. These fears led to extreme violence against Chinese immigrants, including mob violence and the burning of Chinatowns. After 1949, Chinese nationals in the United States and visa applicants in Hong Kong faced suspicion and harassment from U.S. authorities concerned about the national security risk they posed. U.S. Consul Everett Drumright warned that the history of unauthorized entry, and particularly the history of lying about identities and lying about their background information, meant the entire population was rife for opportunities for spying for the newly communist government. The search for spies among Chinese immigrants and the Chinese American community had a chilling effect, and the community in the United States faced increased harassment and discrimination with no real evidence of spying being found. During the 1990s, Taiwanese American scientist Wen-Ho Lee was arrested and held for over a year over espionage charges that never had enough clear evidence of a crime to bring charges against him. During the COVID pandemic, there were
So because of one outlier, we should just, not scrutinize any of them.
Correct.
That's what it sounds like she's getting at?
Mm-hmm.
Because of one person who was held for a year with no solid proof, but still enough to make them raise red flags, we should just, not vet anyone.
Exactly.
No. No. I don't agree with that. That's how we ended up in the mess we're in with all of this bullshit. So, yeah, the way she's making this sound, I don't like it. I don't like the way she's going.
Oh, I told you.
Many documented instances of suspicion, harassment, and violence against Chinese Americans as their race and ethnicity became associated with the source of the pandemic that caused such significant economic and personal harm. Historically, there have been many examples of a impact of suspicion, broad suspicion, targeted specifically at Chinese Americans that have had detrimental effects for the community that is otherwise a very productive and useful community in the United States. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Oyen. I'll now recognize Mr. Bensman for 5 minutes for his opening statement.
Hi, thank you for the privilege of having me here today. As I speak with you at this minute, Chinese nationals are illegally crossing our southwest border in historic numbers and preparing for their second crime, asylum fraud. They disfigure and toss their passports, like this one, because the stamps inside prove their holders passed through safe countries that would have granted protection. That would disqualify them for U.S. asylum. Likewise, they discard Mexican residency cards like these all over the U.S. side and the Mexican side, which the Mexicans require for them to move north because they show that Mexico already granted them protection, which is another disqualifier for asylum.
Crazy
A
Bee,
record-smashing
stop 1 second.
50,000 Chinese
Yes, ma'am.
nationals.
You know, I'm just watching the chick from Maryland, the doctor, and I think what I find fascinating from this whole subject is, half the country is thinking one thing and the other half is thinking another thing, right?
Yes.
And here you have, what's his name? Bensman.
Bensman.
Yeah, Bensman here is showing actual proof, documentation of passports, of IDs, etc. Does she, in her brain, is anything registering that what is being said is true? Like how do
I don't think
we
so.
get that mindset switched over to facts? We're not talking.
He can't fake those IDs. He can't fake the passport he just brought in.
Correct.
Those were picked up at the border. They are used as a visual evidence. She has nothing. She's kicking herself in the ass. How is she going to go against this?
She can't go against them, but the thing is I don't think her mind is going to change on what's being presented. She's still going to hold the position that she has, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we get her to understand the seriousness of the situation?
You got to remember, though, this is a woman my age My generation was brainwashed from kindergarten up. I mean, a lot of us had the intelligence to say no. Well, I can't say a lot. Half of us had the intelligence to be like, no. I mean, I was in 6th grade and they're trying to tell us about the hole in the ozone layer being caused by hairspray.
Oh yeah.
Remember that shit? No
You know what's
CFC. No
you know what's funny
CFCs.
is my sister-in-law uh used Aquanet like you cannot believe, and they
You can't breathe when you walk past the bathroom through the
exactly,
70s and
and
80s
they
and
said
early
that that was
90s.
detrimental to the ozone layer. So for Christmas one year, we bought her a case of Aquanet.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
yep. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, I swear to God. Oh, you can't use aerosol deodorant. You can only use
exactly. You're not
bar or
allowed to use
roll on
aerosol.
in the
Yeah,
schools.
aerosol anything. Yep.
Oh, CFCs are killing the. You know what? That hole in the ozone layer hasn't grown and it hasn't shrank.
Yep. That had the same way with the, the land masses,
Oh, that
oh,
we're supposed to be underwater by now, 10 times over.
exactly. We
Every
we
decade, there was supposed to be some kind of detrimental end of the world
right,
bullshit.
right.
No. That hole in the ozone layer, God knows when that originally formed. Okay, that could have been where the asteroid punctured through to
Yep.
take out the dinosaurs. We don't know.
Little pinprick.
Out of the entire globe, it is not small, but it's not big. They make it sound big, but when you do it in comparison to the rest of the planet and the atmosphere and all that other stuff, it is quite small. And I remember them trying to scare the shit out of us over this. Oh my God, global warming. Who caused the global warming for the dinosaurs?
Right.
Who
Well, we
caused
now and
all of that
now,
shit?
I mean, all the stuff with climate change, and we had Greta Thunberg making, such an
Them look
impact.
really bad.
Yeah, such an impact on the climate change. She's now off that bandwagon, and she is sticking up for Palestine.
Yeah,
So
Israel has had it with her, and a couple
yeah,
other countries have
yeah,
too.
go figure. She's another whack job. But the point, I guess, again is I just find it very difficult to deal with these people that just are so adamant in their position that they're not even willing, or they're not even open to receiving the information that these three guys have. You know what I mean? These three guys are not on the panel to bullshit around. I mean, the first guy, has 20 some years in. He's been on the border. He's seen what it looks like. They know what's going on. And she's going to be in there with all her fluff. I just, I don't know. It's frustrating. I find it extremely frustrating. And
But
why
she
they,
is 1/4 of that panel.
yes.
She's outnumbered.
Mm-hmm.
Because all I heard from the guys is this is a threat. All we hear from her is COVID made them do it.
Mm-hmm.
COVID made it to where this and that.
And
COVID is
you're
why it dropped.
categorizing everybody in one group,
Uh huh.
because of COVID. Well, unfortunately, as I said yesterday, when an issue occurs and it's just not one individual and it's multiple people, we automatically put them into some type of category, some type of group. We search for some commonality
Yep.
that people have.
Uh
And
huh.
so yes, I mean look at world with Japan and the Japanese.
World War II. We
When they
went
hit
absolutely batshit. Our
exactly
country did.
when they hit Pearl Harbor, All the
Everyone
Japanese were
got
lumped
detained.
into one lump sum, right? It
Whether
was
they were
all,
born here or not. They could have been a third generation born in the United
yes, ma'am.
States,
But
because
if,
the Asians were brought over in the mid 1800s to
right,
work on the railroads.
right. So all and
Hmm.
just like I said yesterday, I could have gone down a totally different path with calling Somalians certain racial slurs because they're black, but I did not. That never even entered my
I was going to go with a
mind.
medical diagnosis, but
Right.
I would have gotten scolded by YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, that never entered my mind. I categorized them as a group. They were from Somalia, and I called them Somalians.
Yes, and you didn't say everyone from Somalia is horrible.
Correct.
We're calling out the fraudsters.
And
So,
so,
yeah,
in this particular case, the the problem with the Chinese is we know that they're out to destroy the country. Why
yes,
is it that they're here? Because there was no vetting, that leads the entire group to look suspicious.
it does.
So we are going to take the entire Chinese population and say, what are you doing here? What is your real reason for being here?
It should be of every country. I don't
True,
care.
right?
Every country, whether we're an ally or not, everyone should be vetted under the same scrutiny across
Hmm.
the board.
Well, I do have, and that's for kind of like a future project. I purchased books on citizenship tests, what
Hmm.
you need, what's required, and that'll be a future project. And we're gonna have some fun with it uh, to see exactly what we know and what we don't know about citizenship and status,
Hmm.
and what is required if you were applying to be a legal resident. And the issue is, if you're going to be an illegal coming through, then it, you
Yeah,
broke the law right off the gate. And are you here for some nefarious reason? And now the
I'm sure they
fact is,
are.
right, and the fact now is they don't even know where they sent them. You heard the first guy say
Busing. Yep.
busing. Correct.
Midnight flights. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Into areas that were completely unprepared.
that's what they did here in our city. 2 plane loads of Afghans were flown in the dark of morning and were dispersed throughout the city.
Hmm. It's not okay.
No, it's not.
And yet, here we are having this issue.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody wants to do anything about it
Right.
except Trump. And everybody's arguing the way he's doing
He's
it.
going
Well,
about it.
get over it.
But he's the only one so far that has, whether you like him or you don't like him, and we've already talked about, there's some times where he opens his mouth and I just cringe, but in my opinion, he's the first president that really has taken action against some of these things. There's still a lot to be done, but
Oh, yeah.
you have to admit, he's got some balls and he's really kind of,
He literally took Nicolas Maduro
uh huh,
from his bed, basically, in the
exactly,
middle of the night.
exactly.
Yeah. And again, I vote, any president that has a strong solution for border control is going to get my vote, because that is what matters the most to me, securing our nation.
Right.
Sadly, there's a bunch of idiots who just want to vote for free stuff.
Yes. That are inside the country.
I have
We,
had it with them.
right.
I don't want them to be voting for free stuff. I want us to be secure. I want us to have jobs. My kids have been trying for 2 years to get jobs in this town. Can't. Can't find a job. They have applied everywhere. There are help wanted signs almost in every window, but no one actually gets hired.
Right.
Why?
I don't know.
It's a little bit irritating, alarming, annoying. I know in 2 days my son does have an interview for a
Uh-huh.
local gas station
Right.
attendant, but like it's so few and far between. Yeah, you're right, Vanilla. Free buses did not work out.
No, it
Exactly.
didn't. Nope. We knew
It's
that going into it. We we could have
oh
told
yeah,
ya. Well, we did tell ya. Ya
common sense.
morons.
All these jackasses in the
Uh-huh.
comments of those videos. Remember
Yep.
the ones? Oh, now I'm going to vote for him. Okay,
Uh-huh.
you idiots. You
Yep.
didn't get what you wanted because you
Nope.
think they have this all magical wand
Right.
that the entire area is going to listen to them and do as they say.
Right.
Idiots.
All right. Why don't we finish up with him and see where this goes?
Alrighty.
Have crossed the southern border since Biden entered office and stood up policies that mainline them into interior America within 48 hours. The
Wow.
Chinese people responded predictably to this unprecedented invitation. At current escalating rates, their numbers should hit 100,000 by 2024's end. All of China knows they'll be freed on personal recognizance for years and likely remain permanently. This administration tolerates mass illegal entry and asylum fraud. But we're here today because the administration seems equally accommodating to a direct national security threat this human flow poses. That would be China's relentless economic and political espionage campaigns, thievery of cutting-edge defense technologies, and dissident suppression operations against our citizens and legal residents. To be sure, most of those 50,000 Chinese nationals are merely coming to work and enjoy America's famed lifestyle. But there can be little doubt that Beijing's spy masters also noticed right away when a welcome wagon greeted the first of its 50,000 citizens that America's new president had just opened a new superhighway over the U.S. southwest border, tailor-built to carry intelligence operatives. U.S. counterintelligence agencies must assume Beijing is already injecting agents into this flow. Recent spy prosecutions in the U.S. and public intelligence community assessments tell us this threat is not speculative. The prosecutions revealed that young 20-something agents got in by exploiting U.S. student and cultural exchange visas. They heisted our secrets from inside elite U.S. universities, research institutes, and corporations. It follows that the prosecutions put heat on legal visa abuses and drove up the risk of detection to China. Just when Beijing needed an alternative way to get its operatives in, the Biden government handed China the golden ticket. Warm greetings at the border and rapid releases with almost no questions asked. The U.S. intelligence community's own assessments tell us what's in store. China will remain the most aggressive espionage actor on U.S. soil and has big plans. Biden's own 2024 DHS threat assessment predicts much more than rapacious economic espionage. It says the CCP operatives will hunt down dissidents in America and will use, quote,
And that is those Chinese police stations we have
That's
talked
correct.
about.
And we talked about them.
And I
We
just wanted to add that
yep,
in
we
case he doesn't get to it. I'm probably jumping the gun, but yeah.
right. Yep, we've talked about that. Secret police stations. How could that possibly be in the United States? But I'll tell you how it's possible that it's being our government is letting it be done.
Hmm.
In New York, in Brooklyn, there is a Muslim community police They are in patrol cars that look like New York police cars. They are in uniforms like police officers, and they are patrolling the neighborhoods. It reminds me of kind of what that Curtis Sliwa was doing with the Guardian Angels in New York.
Yes.
However, they are doing things like stopping women for the way they dress.
They're
Uh,
harassing people that are
Correct.
not Muslim.
And they're planning on spreading it out through the 5 boroughs throughout New York.
I don't
If
like that idea.
if there is not a stop put to that, we're in some deep shit.
Oh, yeah. Serious deep shit if we don't
I
get it
mean,
stopped.
I can't imagine being stopped by a community officer or whatever. I don't even, officer is the wrong word because they really have no legal authority, but they're using Sharia law to as their guide in dealing with the American public. So we're kind of in a hot spot here.
Yeah. And none of us voted for this. Like, most of us, I don't think as many people, well, I mean, there was clearly cheating
Right.
in the election. Georgia finally got through all their bullshit, and the light hit this. Oh, yeah, there was a bunch of rescanned ballots for Biden. There was a bunch of ballot dumps, and they were not legitimate ones. I mean, that was it's like, if people were paying attention to the local news and stuff, follow it up after the national news stops talking, follow up on it. You would know Georgia finally admitted that there was voter fraud, and
Correct.
extensive.
Yeah, and here and you know what? And nobody's held accountable.
No, well, no, a few people did go to jail, but they were lower downs. They were not the high ups.
Yeah. I
Uh-huh.
mean, that's the problem that we have here. Fauci, nothing happened to him with COVID. Look at Minnesota with Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar. Nothing's going to probably happen to them. In
Yep, because
Georgia,
there's other
nothing
people to
happens
throw
to
under the
them.
bus.
Yeah, you
Yep.
got Stacey Abrams and her big mouth. I mean,
Uh-huh.
nothing. Fannie, whatever her name is,
Fannie
Willis, and
Willis.
the other, the one up in New York.
Yep. Letitia, whatever, the
Yeah,
Tisha
Letitia
James or
is
whatever.
James, I think, and
Yeah.
it just is. I don't understand how these people are getting away with this.
What I don't understand is how there's jackasses out there who think, we'll get Trump this time.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, seriously. I mean, they're mad that Trump figured out the game and is playing it better than their corrupt politicians.
right,
And this is, again, there was widespread cheating. There was fraud in those elections, despite what YouTube is going to probably strike me down for saying this. But it's coming out. There are news articles on it. But the problem is, if there's no punishment, it's just going to keep happening. So
right.
that's why I've literally said it for the last couple election cycles. May the best cheater win.
That's
That's
what it
literally
comes
the only
down
way to
to.
become the president, is may the best cheater win.
Right.
It's rich people. It's a rich people party, and we aren't invited. Yes, that
Mm-hmm.
is so true, Vanilla. Absolutely so
Oh,
true.
I actually burnt my fingers, not looking so good.
Oh shit.
What?
I've been putting it underwater.
No, no, no. I want you to go get the ice pack. Sorry.
I did, and it's currently trying to freeze, but the freeze just freezing up.
Okay. All right. Find something else frozen from the fridge and put it on your hand now. He's got second-degree burns on his finger.
Oh no.
I'm looking at it. It's already blistered and bubbled and starting to look like a scaling.
Oh good.
Oh my god.
Is he in
Sorry.
pain? Is he complaining?
No, he's been keeping it under cold water, but I need him to put something colder than cold water on it. Sorry, guys. I am so sorry. He just walked in with three massive blisters going up his index finger.
Will this work?
Jeez.
Yes, that'll work. Wrap it in a shirt or something so you don't get frostbite from it. Oh my god. Here,
What did he
let me
do?
help you.
Pick up? Did he
How did
pick
you
up?
do that?
When I was grabbing the stuff out of the oven, I actually bumped the oven.
And you just are now coming to me with this.
Well, yeah, I thought it was like a small, minor one.
No, not. Hold on, let me get a picture of that so I have reference. I am so sorry, folks. I did not mean to hijack the.
Why would you do such a thing?
Hold on. I'm going to send you a picture, Dee.
Okay.
I apologize. This may end up as a third-degree burn.
Yeah, so I figured I'd tell you.
Hold on. I'm going to send it to you. It's a second degree for sure, but it could be a third.
Do you have any numbing medication at all?
I have lidocaine somewhere because we were switching rooms. It's lost. I know I have stuff for burn care and wound care.
Yeah.
So I will have to do that after we get it chilled out. But if you look at his finger, holy crap, that is a second degree minimum. Oh, pray for me, folks. Pray for me. Sorry.
Oh, that's
He just,
not good.
I was not expecting to see that. I was not expecting to see that. The skin did not burn away from the hand, but it is big old blisters.
Wow, that doesn't look too good there, Crazy B.
No, but years of wound care. I know what to do. I'm sorry, folks. I didn't even have time to mute. I am so sorry.
Yeah, that you're good. Why don't you hit play and see if you can find something?
Okay. All right, let me hit play so we can get through the last 30 minutes of the show. And
Well, yeah, we're just going to finish up with his opening statement and then stop there.
Well, if people would quit coming in with burns and stuff, I could easily get through this faster. Oh my god. Wow. I'm so sorry. I was not expecting. My son's like, "Oh, I burnt my finger." I'm thinking, just a red spot. Not this. Okay, let me shut up, hit play, and see what I can find.
Quote, physical assault, threats, harassment, defamation, and kidnapping out of country, read rendition, to, quote, suppress oppositional voices. Almost unbelievably, Beijing already has established inside the U.S. what the DHS assessment calls, quote, unsanctioned police stations, from which CCP operatives surveil and harass dissidents. And about those 50,000 non-spy economic migrants, can they all be regarded as entirely benevolent, asylum fraud aside? They're fodder for coerced recruitment by China. Office of Director of National Intelligence Assessments 2023 and 2024 say China is going to, quote, pressure families back home to recruit Chinese abroad as informants and operatives. As if quick releases after border crossings were not golden ticket enough, the Biden administration gifted the Chinese intelligence an especially sparkling new policy. Washington ordered Border Patrol to reduce the number of interview questions for incoming Chinese nationals from 40 to just 5, the Daily Caller has reported. Why?
And you got kicked again, didn't you? Yep, she did. Well, we will wait for Dee to come back. Let's see what happens. Yeah, what a day. What a day.
I'd be back.
Hi, you're back?
Yep.
Okay.
They don't like the subject matter.
That does not surprise me one bit. So,
Uh-huh.
All right. And yeah. What a day. Anyways, here we go.
To move them into the country even faster, including those who tossed their identity documents and might as well have given their names as Mickey Mouse. Reporting indicates they've all learned to easily defeat the 5 questions and be shown the entrance door to America, which makes them all strangers, just the way Beijing's spy masters want it. Thank you.
Okay, and we're going to end there. There were just their opening statements. And there's probably a good, I don't know, 30. How many minutes are left, Crazy B, on that?
I believe an hour.
An hour?
Oh
So,
no, 45 minutes.
yeah,
45
so
more
if you
minutes.
want to watch the hearing and see what they have to say, you can, or the transcript is also provided as well if you just want to go ahead and read it. Either way, the information is there for you. And you basically know where each person stands. So you're going to get the information and questioning back and forth. Now, we're already into 2026 and still nothing has been done. I don't know what the holdup is, where the breakdown has happened. Is it with Homeland Security? Is it with CBP? Is it with Congress? Is it with Trump? Where is the problem? Or is it all of the above?
I think it's a combination. The reason people
Mm-hmm.
aren't going through with the great ideas is it's because it's Trump's name attached to it.
Right.
And, again, it's just that hell bent idea that, so what if he has a great plan? It's Trump. We can't do it.
Right.
Why can't we just put that bullshit aside?
Right.
I mean, I can do it. I can put that bullshit aside. There's a lot of things Trump does that I think is absolutely stupid, but I absolutely 100% support what he's doing with ICE and
Mm-hmm.
Border Patrol. I am all for it. I'm not for some of the stupider shit that we're putting money into, but this is
Right.
one of them that I support. I support him going after Venezuela. I support him leaving Russia and Ukraine to duke it out. Minimal
Right.
interference. Same with Israel. Minimal interference. I absolutely support him bombing the shit out of Syria, where ISIS members killed some of our
Right.
troops.
And I
So,
support him getting rid of the UN
mm-hmm.
and walking away from
The
the
Paris Accords, all
the
that shit.
European Union and all that bullshit. All of it. It's a
They do not have
mess.
our best interests at heart. They don't have their own best interests at heart.
Exactly. All
So,
right.
yeah.
So, Crazy B, it's about 20 to 9, and we still have a lot of material to cover. But do you think you could go to those pictures? Can
Um,
you jump ahead to those?
do you remember which numbers in the slideshow they were, or do you want me just to pull them up in the Google web
Either
browser?
whatever's easiest for you to pull, because I
Okay.
don't have them number. I don't have it. I don't remember
They'll
what the
get to
number.
see it a second time if it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
This is the first one you
Okay,
sent.
so let me give you a little backstory here. So we're going to be watching on Thursday. Remember, tomorrow we're going to drop a pre video that we've already done on China. I think it's episode 63, if I recall correctly. But we will be watching on Thursday the video that Nick Shirley did with regards to China. He is now on the bandwagon of saying that they're the next threat to the United States. And in his discussion that he had with the podcaster, he listed there was there was papers given to him that had 5 different addresses that they were called camps where the Chinese, when they crossed the border, that they went to. So, More on Me gets the brilliant idea to go onto Google Earth to find where these places are.
Mm-hmm.
And normally, when I use Google Earth, I get pretty good hits and I can get really good visuals of, I mean, I could see people walking across the street, perhaps. This
Uh-huh.
was extremely difficult to get. And
This, yeah.
when I hit the third picture, all of a sudden stuff started to disappear and it started to say it was unavailable to me. And I was like, So I left Google Earth and I went to Google Maps and tried to find information. And again, the same thing happened after I started searching. And there were some real specifics that were given. This is the first one. Now, these pictures blow my mind in the fact that we're talking, they're in the freaking desert.
Yeah.
There is, in some cases, literally nothing
Nothing.
around. How do people survive coming through Central America, up through Mexico, and through California, Texas, through the desert? How do they?
Mm-hmm.
This boggles the mind. And I don't know if you can zoom in on any of these pictures or not, Crazy B. Um,
All I can do is enlarge, but you can see there's
yeah,
like a
enlarge.
little itty
But
bitty thing here.
right.
That's about it.
And so this was the first place that they said that they could cross. And as you can see, there's nothing there. So obviously they're going to get picked up by some type of vehicle. And if you look over to the left, Crazy B, can you go over to the left there?
Uh,
They give them a specific, and again, this is according to Nick Shirley. They tell them specifically to go to this Incopa Park Road, exit 77, and you're to get off there, and you will be,
Interstate 8.
yeah, and you'll be picked up and taken, I don't know where.
Look, it says posting is currently turned off.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Now, I'm trying to figure out what that object is at the top. At first, I thought it reminded me of a lighthouse, but I'm not
Um,
sure what that
it
is.
could be an old lookout tower from an old base.
Okay.
Because I mean, America's had military bases scattered across the West, going back to the 1800s.
I mean,
So it could be remnants of an old military base.
there's nothing in the area.
Hmm. And the only thing you can see, and I don't know if y'all can see my mouse, but if you look right here where the red dot is, it looks like roads in a couple buildings, but it's so small. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I tried to zoom in and it would not permit me to get into the to the
Normally, you can
map.
zoom in and see the road level.
Right.
Why
And
is that not here?
I don't know. And I kind of thought after a while it was uh because there's 5 different sites or 4 sites, I believe. Why don't you pull up the next one, Crazy B?
Alrighty. Here is another one. Same thing.
Okay. This
A
one
little bit
is,
of a
now,
structure.
I want you to note this is a specific address
Hmm.
and look at the area,
You can't zoom in any further than that,
right? And
but
we're
look at there are
talking,
some buildings.
yeah, we're talking desert. Now, I was able to, if you look on the right, I mean, we saw the sun in the and a highway. So we're talking desolate isolation. And
Jacumba Hot Springs.
And you're being told as a Chinese illegal to go to this place.
Look, this is
Why?
the exact location. It's the middle of a freaking road in the middle of a desert. They
Right.
got pictures.
Why?
I don't see any oh, there is one small building in this picture at the very back edge on the right. There is a very small building. The rest of it is nothing.
Why are they being sent there?
Good question.
Why aren't other ethnicities in these particular areas?
I don't know. But
How
I
were
mean, if
they
you look at this, there is nothing there.
nothing? Right. It's stuff is few and far between. And again, these are specific addresses. When we watch the video, you'll see that he has this stuff listed. Okay, why don't you pull up the next one, Crazy B?
Here's another one. Jewel Valley Road.
Now
Look
look
at
at
this.
this,
Jewel Valley Ranch
right?
is the closest thing.
Right.
And oh, there's old Highway 80 from the last video.
Uh-huh.
And that video picture. This one has no pictures with it. Posting
Right.
is off. Just
That
says
is what
California.
exactly. That's one I started to have difficulty in trying to search for the information.
That's
It was
odd.
that was the start of my bizarreness of the day.
There's, I think, 3 more.
Okay.
Here's the next one. This is just GPS coordinates.
Okay, that's what was listed was the
Right at the
GPS
border.
coordinates. I entered them in and got the hit right here. And when I zoomed in on this area, I'm telling you what, the roads go, I mean, just take a look at it. The roads are like somebody scrabbled on a chalkboard, and it would be so easy for you to get lost or, go around in circles. I don't know how anybody finds their way out. It reminds me of a labyrinth.
This says it's near Canyon City, California.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, these are old trails.
Now,
They're not
now look, there's
really roads.
there's the border right there.
Yeah, it's literally right across the border. That's
Right.
what, 20 miles, 30 miles off the
Right.
border,
Yep.
tops?
And again, we're
Why?
coming through desert. But remember, they had the Safeway houses, right, where they got to stay and rest for three days up to a week, however long they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the previous safe house? That how were they able to get from the safe house into these areas that are so remote and so desolate? I mean, where do you buy a bottle of water?
You don't. I'm sure there's cactuses somewhere, but
Okay.
yeah.
So that was specific coordinates. And then the
This
next
one,
one?
Marin Valley Road, is a compound of some sort.
Correct. And this one kind of freaked me out because of what we're going to see next.
Look at this. It's not a normal living center. This one kind of bugs me. Hold on. What does this say? San Diego Firearms School.
Well, that it not only that, but show the next picture, and this is the one that has me freaked out because when they get to this place, right next to it is the active shooter defense school. Let that
Mm-hmm.
sink in a minute. Active shooter defense school.
Actually, it's the same address, 1020 Marin
Yes,
Valley
it
Road.
is. Yeah, it's
They
the
get sent to an active shooter defense school.
right. Why?
But it's not an invasion. No, they're not. They're no threat whatsoever.
And again, this comes from the video we will be watching on Thursday with Nick Shirley. And they don't talk about, he does not pull up the Google Maps or anything. I feel like I need to send it to him and say, go check this place out.
This
Because
is scary.
I know it is. I think something's going on there.
It is a tad bit. Hold on. I mean, that's scary. Is that where Border Patrol trains?
I
Is
don't know.
it a public school for
It's a
people? Anyone
public,
can go there?
yeah, it's a public school. They got high ratings from the public. But is that just a front for for the Chinese?
It
Why
could
are
be.
why are Chinese illegals being given that address to go to?
I don't know. I really don't know, but it is kind of scary. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a typical community. That it looks like that entire place is a shooting defense. Like laid out
Right,
for civilian. Like you're in the city and you got a problem. Now here's what you do.
right.
I want to know who owns this place.
I don't know. I didn't go
I guess
that
we'll have
far.
to look into that
Right.
tomorrow. I might be able to dig down and see who owns the company. Because if it's a Chinese company, we got some serious major red flags.
It's a little bit alarming. Uh
A little bit.
and as I said, I didn't like that I wasn't able to get into any further with Google Earth. It was really, the whole situation was bizarre, trying to find the information.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go over this on Thursday. We'll do the China threat part 3 and try to finish everything up so that Friday we can do editor's choice, or friggin' Friday as we call it.
Yep.
Um,
There's a few things that I'm still keeping tabs on.
right. And with that being said, I think
What
we'll
a
cut
day.
it a little bit short today. I'm whipped.
Yeah,
I don't know
I've got to
about
run
you.
to the local store and get some stuff for the first aid.
Right.
I need gauze and tape.
All right. Get that taken care of.
Yep. Gotta
Or
love it.
it's always something, isn't it?
If it ain't one thing, it's another, right?
There you go. All right. I'm out,
Oh,
Crazy B.
I am too. I gotta go do Dr. Mom thing
Okay.
and all that fun stuff. And I'm still gonna close out with stay safe, stay sane, stay sober, and pray for my sanity. I my son does not have medical coverage right now. We're gonna wing it. So, all right, folks, y'all have a good night. We'll
All
catch
right.
y'all in the
Good.
next one.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. No, we won't see you tomorrow. We're going to
Nope,
drop a
Thursday.
video. Yes, we're going to drop a video. We'll see you on Thursday. So have a good Wednesday. And we'll see you Thursday evening at 7.
Sounds like a plan.